Hello, Living Dead Dolls fans. This is Josh, aka Doggiepants, and I am coming at you with another Living Dead Dolls review. Today I'm going to get back to my reviewing of the series dolls and go to Series 5. I've taken a couple of weeks off, or had kind of a weird couple of weeks, because I've been doing a new project with Mezco Toys where I'm doing kind of a sneak peek of dolls that are coming out. So you can look forward to that in the future. I just put up Chucky and Tiffany, and I think we're going to have Bloody Tiffany fairly soon. But now I'm going to go back to my review of the series dolls, which I've been doing over the last month and a half or so. So, Series 5, it's our first venture into new coffins. So here we go. Here's the coffin. And you will see that it is not black like all of the other coffins have been up until now. It is in fact silver and comes with these fancy drawn-on handles, which we've seen sneak up throughout multiple series. Here is the front. Let me take off the plastic so we get rid of that glare. Here's what the chipboard looks like as well. So it's a different chipboard as well. You know, we've always had the hand-drawn dolls. We no longer have that. We have, what are those things called? The film clacker things. God, terrible. With what look like zombie hands. Still have the blood. It says Series 5. And cast. It says cast right there. And then it says Jezebel. And it says play, Series 5, director Ed Long and Damien Glenick. And then the scene is the poem of the doll, which is really, really cool. The tissue paper on the inside is red. And the other thing that was interesting about Series 5 is that they didn't have the standard death certificates that we'd seen in the past. They have, I'm going to try to bring this up close so you can get a good look at it. Like a coroner's report, I believe that's what's referred to. Yeah, so it says, County of Athens, Office of the California State Medical Examiner, Chief Medical Examiner, Coroner, Tinseltown, Stitches, MD. So it says, you know, last known occupation, name, sex, then it has the date death, and it also has the cause of death, which is cool because they hadn't really done that up until now. And then hers says loss of blood. Another interesting fact about the image here is it appears that the image is, it looks like either a test shot or a prototype because it's a little bit different than the doll that we see, well, you're going to see in just a minute. But yeah, so that's the coroner report. So let's get started on the dolls. We're going to go from my least favorite to my favorite. Again, I like Series 5, so even my least favorite I'm not, you know, upset with by any means. But I'm going to start with Vincent Vaude. This is a really, really nice doll, and especially for boys, because we've had a few clunkers with the boys in the past, but he's a really fantastic one. Let's take a look at him. He has this button-down shirt that actually does have buttons, clear buttons down the front of it. They obviously are not working buttons, they're just sewn on. He has, it's a collared shirt, and he has this cute little bow tie right there that matches his suspenders that go up and over the shoulder and cross in the back. These suspenders do like to get a little wonky sometimes. I've thought about taking an iron to them, but I'm not diehard with my dolls anymore. I don't make them absolutely pristine. But yeah, you can if you'd like. There are cute little buttons where the suspenders attach to the pants below. Obviously, these are not functioning buttons, but they are for decoration, but they're nice. The pants are a corduroy material, so they do have kind of a texture to them, and they're cuffed at the bottom. This is all, in fact, one piece that Velcros up the back. You have to slip his suspenders off and then Velcro all the way down here to get the outfit off of him. But it is all one piece, so be aware of that. He has the standard Living Dead doll shoes, and then he has white socks on underneath that. He has the first boy doll with a screaming mouth. I don't know if that's really that interesting, but I thought I would share it. But here he is. I think he's the first doll that didn't have fangs that had a screaming mouth, though. I could be wrong about that, because I know Lilith had the screaming mouth. Was there any other ones that I can think of? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, so probably him. He was the one with regular teeth and a screaming mouth. He has a blue tongue, so he really does look suffocated. His skin tone is white, and he does have some veining along the face as well. I'm sure you can see that. And definitely some like cracks around his mouth where it really looks like he's kind of a dried up corpse, which I think is a nice detail. His gaze is up, and he has a yellow eye. He has kind of the dirty look around the outside of his eye, and then a real boyish eyebrow, which is pretty nice. So he did suffocate. His death date is the same as Harry Houdini's. I'm not going to go through all, well, maybe I will. I think I know all of the death dates and how they're relevant for this series, but we'll see. And then he has blonde hair that has a side part here. The hair is pretty thick. Well, maybe that's not completely true. If you look at the back, there is, you can definitely see his scalp. It's pretty thickly rooted up front, so it looks pretty nice from the front, but just be aware that it does get thinner as we go down the back. But that is Vincent Vaude. So there we go. Next up is Siren. And Siren also has a unique head mold, which was new for her. And her head mold, well, we'll get there in just a minute. Let's take a look at her outfit first. So obviously she has this giant cape. It is a hooded cape, so it's a little hard with her hair. You can tuck the hair into the cape or try to figure out a nice way to display her. But the hood does, in fact... God, I'm having a little bit of a difficult moment with this. Give me a second. Ooh, yeah, so that doesn't look gorgeous, but you can see that the hood does come up. It ties in the front. There you go. So you can open this up. And I'm going to do it right now so you can get a better look at the doll. And it is lined with purple, which is a really nice detail. The outside is, I don't know, what is that, like a velvet almost, maybe? So this is a really good quality cape. Very, very nice. Her dress is pretty simple underneath. It's like a satin material. She has basically a standard bodice with some little ribbon over the shoulders. And then there's kind of pleating in the skirt, I guess. Is that what that would be? With purple in there as well. And it does Velcro up the back. And the bodice, let me see, is separate from the bottom of the dress. So the bottom of the dress has elastic, and the bodice is just Velcroed separately. So her shoes, and one just fell off, so give me a moment. I'm having a crazy time with her right now. There we go. She has the sandals that we first saw on Miss Eerie. Quite a few dolls have the sandals for this series. Hers are black, and she has toenails that are painted purple, which is a really nice detail. And her fingernails are painted purple. There it is, as well. So I was mentioning the face mold earlier. I'm going to give you a nice up-close shot of it. Her mouth has been stitched shut, and that is part of the mold. That's not painted on, so that's a really nice detail. Underneath that, she has a black lip. Her eyes are black with a yellow pupil, and then there's purple shading around the outside of it. Her hair is also a pretty bright yellow. And it has a nice side part, so she is kind of vampy, which is nice detail. Her hair needs some love sometimes. This one definitely does. I need to wash them. I bought a lot of my dolls used, so some of them are kind of rough quality, but I just kind of like having all of them. I need to take the time and clean them up, but my life is just crazy right now, so I haven't made that happen. Next up, we're going to go with Shh. And my version is not complete, so I'm sorry, guys. Dahlia. So this is Dahlia. Obviously, Siren, her death date is with Janis Joplin, just so you know. Dahlia is clearly based on Elizabeth Short, who is an actress that was found dead, and they never found her killer. She was cut in half, and her face was cut to have a big smile. So this, some people were a little put off by this doll when she first came out because it was kind of, felt a little odd that they did such a horrible death and actually called her Dahlia, because Elizabeth Short's nickname was the Black Dahlia, obviously. but she's grown in popularity since, and she also has a body mold that we've never seen on any of the other dolls. It's only been true for her. And Resurrection dolls came out of her this year. So here we go. Let's start with her outfit. Her outfit's really kind of cool. She has this jacket, which is kind of a... I'm terrible with materials, you guys know this, but it's kind of a scratchy. It's got some sparkle to it. It's a pink jacket, and then it obviously has fringe here on the end of the arms, and then also on the bottom of it as well. You can take this off. Obviously, this is a separate piece. Underneath, she has kind of... it's a little bit of a bikini style outfit, or maybe it would be undergarments. She has this bodice, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see in the light. Yeah, there it is. It has lace detail that's in 2 layers. So there's one up top and then there's one underneath. She has ribbon that goes up and over the shoulders. This Velcros in the back. And then she has kind of little booty shorts. So they are elastic and they have the same kind of shine and glitter to them that the overcoat does. This is really nice detail along the base of it. It's like a ribbon as well. And along the top, if you can see that. And then there's fringe that hangs down and moves as well. Now, obviously, you've seen the really cool body mold that no other doll has. But you can see, there we go. She has kind of staples holding her body together. So she's cut. And there's this other gash that comes down a little bit in the front too. Staples, and it goes all the way around her body. It's a really cool, kind of gruesome detail. And it's mirrored in her face as well. She has red fingernail polish, and then a red toenail polish, and then she also has the pink shoes similar to Siren's, but you'll notice right on the tip there are little pink plush balls as well. Her face paint is pretty nice, kind of gruesome and scary. Here she is. She has the staples that are keeping her mouth shut, so there is a cut, and that's built into the mold that is not painted on. Red lip. She looks like she's been through some serious trauma. She has blue pupils, and then her eyes are bloodshot, and it has kind of the dark shading around, and then kind of a standard Living Dead doll's eyebrow. One interesting thing about her, and also Jezebel in this series, is that they went for more of a period style haircut for her, so she really feels like she's from the 1940s. It's a really tight curl. The only problem is you'll see a lot of the Dahlias in their coffins with just crazy mangled hair, and the variant version of hers a little bit better, has white hair, but hers, it's definitely rough and takes some love to get it into kind of a presentable situation. One thing that my Dahlia is missing is, because I bought her used, I found her at this really cool resale shop. She doesn't have her string of pearls. Dahlia comes with a set of pearls around her neck. They're plastic and they're a little bit stretchy, so you can get it up and over her head. Mine doesn't have that, but yours will. So check that out. That is Dahlia. So next up on the list is... Oh, and Dahlia, obviously her death date coincides with Elizabeth Short. Next up is Hollywood. So, Hollywood. Oh, one of my favorite dolls, and I just don't think she gets enough recognition. She's a fantastic doll. Yeah, so let's get started. So, first up, we have a one-piece dress. It's all one piece. It has a lace up on top and ribbon that goes up over the shoulders. At the bottom, she has kind of a feather boa feel to it around the base of the dress that is permanently on there. And the dress has a little bit of give to it. It's nice. It has kind of a velvet feel to it. And then it does Velcro up the back and is all one piece, so you can take this off. She also comes with a separate feather boa. The feathers get everywhere. That's one problem with the design of this doll, is that she has this black feather boa, which definitely sheds, and then she has bright white hair, so you get a lot of black feathers up in her hair. So just be careful of that. But she's beautiful, beautiful dress. She has black sandals, just like we've seen on all the other dolls this series, with the exception of the boy. And then she has black toenail polish and a black fingernail polish as well. Her hair is very big, very curly. It's hard to do much with it. She's got she's got a real big kind of afro feel to, not really afro, but seriously textured white hair. If you open your dolls, sometimes the humidity can affect her pretty terribly. And I had one where the hair just seemed to get bigger and bigger and bigger because I was living in this really hot area, California, and it just went crazy. And so be aware of the humidity. It affects dolls' hairs as well. Who knew? Yeah, so that is her hair. It's pretty thickly rooted. This is a lot of hair. And her variant has black hair, same texture, and it's just insane. I mean, that's almost like an afro. It's so thick. It's a really, really nice, really, really nice detail. But the best part of this doll is the paint treatment. So she was in a car accident, and she had some severe head trauma. So look at this. And the red goes up and underneath the scalp, so you can see the pink through the white of her hair as well, which is a really nice detail. The red goes all the way down the side of her head, down her neck, and then there's cuts along this arm as well to indicate that that's really where she took the brunt of the accident. And you see the damage on the side of her mouth as well, and her, is that right eye? Yeah, right eye is swollen shut and has kind of a bruising look around it, which is really nice detail. She has a very piercing green eye, and other than that, her face paint is pretty simple, and it's kind of nice that it is because it really brings out the damage from the car accident. And her death date coincides with Jane Mansfield, so real Hollywood kind of series. And obviously, my favorite of the series is up next, and that is Jezebel. And some people may disagree with me. Probably Hollywood or even Siren gets the most amount of recognition from the series. But I think Jezebel is just an incredibly well-designed doll. She has a lot of secret hidden treasures to her, which is one of my favorite things that Living Dead dolls that they do. They haven't been doing it as much anymore, but they did back when Series 5 came out. So let's take a look at her. Her dress is very, very vampy. So it's a red kind of satin material. And I'm going to take her collar detail off. We'll get to that in just one second, but I want you to see how this dress works. So it's high collar, and then it has this lace detail on the front that is permanent. That's not a separate piece. And then that goes all the way around the back. This does Velcro all the way basically to here. Velcro's up the back. She has a pretty intense slit up the front of her dress, and it does have a lace detail that goes up the slit and all the way around the bottom of the dress. She has black sandals, and one of my favorite things about this doll is it almost looks like her toenails are bleeding. You'll see that it's black, the toenails are painted black, but like underneath it is this red color, and something just seems off-putting about it. And it's true of her fingernail polish as well. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick that up in the video, but it's a really nice detail. On top of her outfit, she has this stunning collar. You have to be super, super careful with the collar because it does lose feathers pretty easily, but it goes right around her neck and it Velcros in the back. And then she has these beautiful feathers that go down her shoulders. Really gorgeous, gorgeous detail. Her hair is similar to Black Dahlia's in that it's very curly and it's meant to have kind of a period style to it. But one nice detail that she has that the Black Dahlia doesn't have is you can kind of tame it a little bit with her beautiful red headband. And it has 2 red roses in it. And it is all elastic. So it does go up underneath the bottom of her hair and kind of can hold the hair in place a little bit. So it looks pretty good. She has a really intense face paint. And I think that might be the reason that she's not as popular as some of the other dolls. Really intense red eyeshadow with a high arched eyebrow. She has yellow eyes with a red pupil, and then she has running mascara. She has this beautiful beauty mark, and she has black outlined red lip. So pretty nice. Where she gets to be super cool is her secret details. So you saw on the coroner's report that she died of blood loss, and that's because the poor girl slit her wrists, Jezebel. So you'll see that she has cut wrists and the blood runs down her hand even. So it's pretty sad. But that's not the only secret detail that Jezebel has to offer. If you look underneath her dress, I'm going to pull her dress up. Oh, I know, scandalous, right? You'll see that this vamp has a really intense leg tattoo. So she has these blue vines that go all the way up her leg. It's a really, really nice detail. I love secrets like that. And then the other thing is she's got, and mine I think is in a little rough shape, but still there. Nonetheless, she has a black garter belt as well. So very, very cool. But that is the beautiful, the stunning, the highly underrated Jezebel. So that's it. That's series 5. Oh, Jezebel's death date. Oh, shoot, I don't remember. I'll look it up. If you guys know, I'll put it in the comments below. I can't remember. Should look that up. Anyways, so this is series 5. I'm going to try to get them all up here. It never seems to work right. Let's talk about scoring. So out of 4 stars, starting with Vincent, I'm not going to get them all up here. I'll just hold him. I would give 3.5 stars to Vincent Vaude. He's a great boy doll. Definitely worth getting if you are a fan of the boy dolls, and I'm definitely one, so that's why I have him. Next up was Siren. Siren, though I put her ahead of him, I'd probably give her 3 stars just because her dress is a little boring. I love her cape, but I find her a little, just kind of standard living doll. Next up is Dahlia. I'm going to give Dahlia 3.5 stars. I wish her hair was a little bit better quality, but her outfit's on point and the mold of the doll is on serious point. And then both Hollywood and Jezebel I would give 4 stars to. They're incredible dolls and worth getting. One other thing I wanted to mention about this series is that when they were first released, you could buy all 5 of the dolls in stores, but you could also get, and I don't have one sadly, a coffin looked just like the standard coffin, except the plastic covering was pure black. So you couldn't see through it. It did say Living Dead dolls, but you didn't know what was inside, and that was the Chase doll for Series 5, and it was the only series that had the Chase doll sent with the other 5 dolls. So when you got a case, you got 5 dolls, and then you got 1 black Chase doll. 1 black coffin Chase doll. When you open it up, it was a black and white version of one of the 5 dolls. And so you kind of had to find the other ones. It was a cool thing that they did. And they actually had more to it than just that. Had a little technical difficulty, but I am back. So, little cut. Anyways, so what I was saying was that they not only had the Chase dolls, but they knew that a lot of collectors like to keep their dolls sealed. So they released a special set of the variant dolls, 250 of them in fact, that did not have the black covers, came in regular coffins like these with the white thing, but they were sealed. And they sold those through Club Mez when Club Mez actually existed. So there are 250 sets of those floating around. Keep your eyes open for them. Another thing that they did, I know, third thing, right, was that with the sealed, the black top coffin ones, there was 1 blood-splattered version of each of the 5 dolls. And they were special in that not only did you get one-of-a-kind doll, blood-splattered Series 5 variant, but there was also a little certificate or something saying that you can turn this in for a handmade doll. So they were giving away 5 handmade dolls, which is super cool, and everybody was searching for them. As far as I know, they found all of them except for Hollywood. They may have found Hollywood eventually. I'm not exactly sure. So if you know, leave a comment. And I think that is it. That's all the information that I have on Series 5. They're great dolls. Grab them. You will not regret it, especially Jezebel and Hollywood. Jezebel is a fantastic doll. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll try to come back soon with Series 6, and we'll keep plugging away at this. We'll get through it eventually. I promise. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch.